What do I need to do at 5K? What do I need to do at 10K? What do I need to do at 15K? I've been helping online coaches grow their business for over 3 years now. And there's one thing with the industry that never sat right with me. It's one of the main reasons I got into the industry, and my belief on it is even stronger now. And that is group coaching alone isn't going to be the thing that gets you to grow your business in the way that you could. And that's why for me, I've always had a one-to-one element involved in the coaching process. And that's what I want to talk to you about in this video. I want to share why coaches at the same income level, it doesn't mean they should be following the same strategy and the same advice. And that's why I believe in one-to-one. I think a group element can be amazing. I think being in an environment, being in a community with other coaches, getting to hear what other people are doing and doing well and taking some inspiration from that, amazing. But a one-to-one element where someone can look at your business and see what you need to do to move the needle and actually look at not just your income level, but everything about you and the context about your business and your audience and your leads and what you've done in the past, and actually making a strategy for you. Incredibly important. And I want to share an insight into examples of clients where they would have came with the same income level, but the advice would have been completely different. Two clients first that I want to talk about have both come to me around the 5K mark. So Sean being one. Sean came to me around the 5K mark and he had a very big audience. So if we think about an audience size, this is me drawing people. Hopefully you're entertained by my bad drawing skills. So that's him having a big audience. For him, also engagement was really big. So he had high amounts of engagement. But based on that, income-wise, it wasn't definitely the potential that his business could be at. We have a second example of Ollie. And Ollie came around the 5K mark. He was stuck for about six to 10 months at that level. But it was the opposite for him. He didn't have a big audience. So he had a much smaller audience. Engagement was so-so, but he felt like a lot of the same people were engaging with his stuff. He had messaged them. Some of them had turned into clients. Some of them were leads that went cold. He was just kind of like flatlined with his business. So as you can see, we have two coaches at a 5K mark, but two people with kind of different issues. So let's say if they came to me and it was just a group program and I had a program for all coaches around 5K, they'd be on a call and say, okay, I want you all to do this one thing. So let's both of you go and implement this one thing. And that's what happens. And that's why some coaches break through, but a lot of coaches stay stuck. Even in our lower investment program, which is for coaches 0 to 5K getting over 10K, our Accelerate program, even in that, we made a point to keep in one-to-one coaching for our clients. So even on our highest tier, there's a huge amount of access and proximity in one-to-one, but even on our Accelerate program, we still have a big one-to-one element in there. So grouping is involved for everyone, and we have an amazing community inside, but the one-to-one component stays strong, and it's for reasons like this. So with John, if, let's say, I said to him, I want you to run ads. I want you to run top of funnel ads. I want you to get new followers in. That would have been shit advice. Absolutely shit advice. But for Ollie, that makes a lot of sense because he had a smaller audience. He wasn't growing his audience. He was kind of running out of leads to message. So he's doing 5K a month, but running ads for him makes complete sense to get his breakthrough. Or if we didn't, it was going to take a lot longer and be a lot more challenging to get the breakthrough. So it just made sense for him to do it. And since doing that, he's completely transformed his business. He is close to 4x his revenue working with FitPro CEO. And that's what we needed to do. But sometimes you'll hear stuff like, oh, coaches earning 5K months shouldn't be doing ads. That makes no sense at all. And hopefully you can understand from seeing this why that makes no sense. Because it's not about how much money you're earning, it's based on the situation. So for Ollie, it was, yes, we'll run ads. Yes, we'll get new people into the pipeline. For Sean, he didn't need to do that. He had so many people in the pipeline already. It was us working on his sales process because there was an issue as why he got all this engagement and followers, but not converting. So what are we going to do to actually convert these people? Two different scenarios, same income level. So hopefully you can understand on that. I want you to talk you through a second example where two individuals at a similar income level are actually making different decisions on hiring. And this is something you won't hear a lot, but I think it's so important for you to think about hiring in your business in this way. And it might not be something you like to hear, but it's important for you to hear. And why you might not like to hear it is You might be someone who wants to palm off work and responsibility and just not think about it and get someone to do it. So if we think about booking calls and having someone in your account, so if we think about booking calls and let's say we have a VA or we have a setter in your account. I have one client who's at around 20K, Stephen, and Stephen has got there through lead acquisition strategies that hasn't really involved any DMs. So he came to me saying, yeah, I've never had a VA, never had a setter, haven't done much DMs myself. So that hasn't been a strategy he's really used. And then I have a client, Andy, who's also around 20K a month, and he has used DMs for lead acquisition. So when it comes to hiring, should Stephen get a VA or a setter on board? The answer is no. Some people might rush that and say, oh no, he should, he's doing 20K a month, let's get him to get a setter in there. For me, I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because I'm a firm believer in you should get good at a skill yourself in the business before you delegate it to someone else. It would just be like getting a coaching. If you never did coaching before and you hired a coach to do coaching, you wouldn't know what you're looking for. You'd be like, you go off and do your thing. It's not the way to build your business. It can feel easier in the short term. It can feel, lighter for you in the short term because you're just like palming things off and like, hopefully they're good enough. But is that really the business owner that you want to be? Or do you want to have control over your business? Do you want to have a team under you where you know exactly how they're performing, how to improve their skill set, and you do that from getting experience yourself? So my advice to Stephen was, okay, yes, we're going to start having a DM strategy in your business, but for the short term, I want you to do it. I want you to get used to it. I want you to learn the skills in terms of doing this. Because when we eventually do hire someone, which definitely can be in the near future, I want you to know what you're looking for. If they come for you with a question, I want you to have advice. If a strategy stops working, I want you to know the answer for doing it. Whereas with Andy, because he had already been in the DMs, he's had a VA and setter before, even though he was back doing it himself when we started working together, I was like, yes, let's get a setter in there because you know what you're looking for. I know you're busy in other areas. And there's gonna be a bigger opportunity cost by us not getting a setter in there because you know what you're doing, but you're very busy. And I know it won't be a non-negotiable every day, but if we get a setter in there, you can actually just manage the setter and not be doing a lot of that admin work with kind of like dealing with the day-to-day messages. Then it's going to help your business massively. So same income level, but two different scenarios in what you want to do. Your revenue doesn't define your bottleneck. I'm going to say that again because it's really, really important. Your revenue doesn't define your bottleneck. So a question I never want you asking again is, what do I need to do at 5K? What do I need to do at 10K? What do I need to do at 15K? And you know what? People will actually give you an answer. You can probably go on YouTube and check out videos saying, this is what you need to do at 10K, this is what you need to do at 15K. I don't like that way of thinking because it's too generic and it's too surface level. Hopefully from this, you can say, okay, I have a business that's very specific to me. One, in the way that it's currently set up, but two, in the way that I actually want to build it. So it's not just doing things that I will do for the next milestone based on what other people are doing, but what with the context of my business and where I want it to go, what is it that I need to do? So instead, your bottleneck ends up being the thing that equals your strategy. So your bottleneck equals your strategy, not revenue equals strategy. So that's very, very important. So that's what we base our whole business around. We don't say, based on this revenue, this is a strategy. Based on your bottleneck, this is the strategy. And that's why we're a firm believer in one-to-one coaching. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got excited too for building your business. If you enjoyed, click below, subscribe, and there'll be more videos coming at you just like this.